All right, so I immediately enter a trade right after that last one that I took there. I'll show you, I'll do the TA first. I'll show you guys my position quickly. Right here. It looks like it was going to break to the downside. Okay, so I entered a short. I think it's going to break down now because all 5 waves are technically in already. I don't think there's another wave that's going to be forming here. I think this break is legitimately coming down now. That was the last straw going to the upside. And now it's going to break to the downside, I think. And the break is going to come. I'm going to go for a 3% scalp here. So let's review the technical analysis quickly. But first we need to establish the 12 hour. The 12 hour right here, okay? So we got that resistance that we nicked it. Let's do this from the beginning. We got this range right here that we kind of nicked. See that? Just nicked it by a hair. Literally. My entry, by the way, is 24, what is it? 2849. Sorry, 2480. That's my entry. So now we just nicked that resistance. Now let's do an Elliott wave count here. Excuse me. You'll see that the 5 waves are indeed in. Okay. So this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to make the 3. A, B, C to make the flat. My bad. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 there. 5 there. Oh, sorry, the 4 is here. Right there. Okay. The 4 there. This here makes an ABC. A running flat. Huge one. So there we go. So now we got the final 5 waves that went up there and touched the final wave. 4 is very small wherever that is. It's above wave 1 territory. See that? And then we get the one big push to the top side to finish this off. The 15-minute chart is definitely tried to push up one last time there. Obviously failed. Oh man, the low was like, what was the low here? 2837. I got a really bad entry for this here. Like, I hope that I really wanted to break down. Like, Jesus, sometimes when you enter too early like that and you market execute a large amount, this ends up happening. You know, you market execute a really large amount and it does not do what you want it to do at all. So now gotta be patient and freaking really wait. But just the way it's looking, it's really bearish. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think, oh man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I literally entered at the 5th wave, I think. That's okay. It's still going to the downside. See that? Beautiful. Nice. This is a really solid trade. Nice. This broke. So this held on for a long time. See this? That held on for about 3 hours and 10 minutes. And the fact that we broke now is great. The daily candle just closed, which means that after the daily candle close, it's really likely that the bears are now going to take over. The sell's getting high. See this? The seller is getting really high now and wants to push to the downside really hard. Now, let's see if we can actually capitalize on this. I don't know, man, if this is going to wick, like make a gigantic wick and get right back in. That would be brutal if it did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, that's probably the C forming. It's probably going to get rejected here and come right back down, in my opinion. Every time frame is bearish now. Like, the 30-minute is just crashing. The 45-minute just crossed over here as well. So I think that this is the 5 waves that formed here. I'm pretty sure it is. If that's not it, then this is now 1, 2. All of that is 3. Okay, that could make sense too. But on a higher time frame, it just looks like 1, 2. That could possibly be 3, honestly. I'm very unsure. But just based on how things are looking so far, like, my count could be very, very valid as well. So let's see if this is going to break down. I'm just looking for a low of the wave 4 territory. That's it. So my RR is great. I'm in a short position, let's just say around there. I'm going to stop myself up. If it gets above that line, I'm going to go for a wave 4 territory. And I got myself now a decent RR. I'm going for about a 2.5% scalp. I'm going to allocate a 1% stop loss here. That's it, just 1%. I'm playing leverage times, not, yeah, maybe like times 5 or something at most. I have about 25K in this account here. So it looks like it's gonna go my way. I think so. Let's see. Alright, so to review once again, Lena. We look at Lena. This looks like there's two possible variations of account. 1, 2, 3. And the 3 there is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5. And the 4 is really cool. It makes a flat A, B, that's higher than the 3, and a C down. And then the final 5th waves is complicated. It probably was something like that, in my opinion. Or it got truncated like that. So then it made a 1, 2, 3. Maybe there. 4 is right above wave 1 territory, like slightly. And then it made a huge 5 to push for this resistance. Right, to push for that resistance that we see on the daily that's been forming since February till about April. So now, if all 5s are actually in, we're going down, okay? We're definitely going to the downside here. We see that gigantic drop in RSI, huge drop there. MACD is going down on the 45-minute. On the 1 hour is coming down hard too. So every time frame, it looks like it's pushing to the downside. More importantly, this right here, that held for the longest time. Do you see this yellow line? That held for a long time. This was my cue to enter. My cue to enter was here and on the break above there. So when it bounced here, I longed it because we finally broke above this range. Here, see, I'll show you it's really clear once you see it. Right there, I broke it. I entered a long because of that specific break, right? So now, this here held for 3 hours and 10 minutes, roughly, or longer than that. We'll say the whole 4 hours, 10 minutes there. And they broke below it. So I don't think it's going to get back above it anytime soon. And I think that the bears are now in full control of this coin. So that's a variation of this, right? This seems to be a really good count. Another count is that I'm wrong, first of all. I have to acknowledge that. And now this is the 5 up there somewhere, and the 4 is coming down. Either way, both of these counts acknowledge the fact that there's one coming down, okay? So that's where we are right now in Lena. So we see it just starting to roll down here. The momentum is really strong right now. Like, we're talking incredibly strong. I'm up $500 already. I'm playing a total of 3,129 coins here. So I'm just gonna get my thing ready. 3,169,386. I'm gonna close mine right around probably the low here, like right at the low, 2,765, 765, and that's gonna yield me a great profit here. Okay, 0.02765. That's gonna be another $2,300. I will not be greedy at all in any way. So I think we're gonna be able to nail this with flying colors. So let's take out some of this stuff here now and keep the chart clean. You always want to make sure your chart's clean, okay? So now we got the top here. Even if it hits 232, right? I was going to put mine in at 2765, which is just enough to hit the 232 Fibonacci region. That seems really fair. The only thing I want is this to not make a channel. Sometimes the 5th waves or whatever waves can actually make a channel and it fucks you up. So now you can see here that this here is a possible contender. I don't like that, right? It can easily bounce here. This could be the first wave, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes a diagonal type shit, and it bounces. So I don't like that at all. I don't like the way this is looking to me. So yeah, I don't like that at all. So this here is now invalid. Okay, that's no longer valid. But this now is. This side. Just like that. Okay, so I don't want this making some ascending triangle that's going to screw me up, right? So got to be really careful of this. Like, it might just bounce really high up here. So what I'm going to do instead of actually riding it is I'm probably going to take my profit here instead. Because it's starting to work its way to the upside now, which I don't like. So see that? So it's really working its way up now. I don't have the tolerance for things like this. I can always get a better entry, in my opinion. So let's see if this MACD is going up now. See that? The MACD is going up. I don't like that. Sure, 5 minutes going down. All the other time frames are going down though. So it would be pretty premature of me to honestly close my position. I should definitely just ride it, especially after a gigantic bearishly engulfing candle that we just saw pop to the upside like that, like make like that. So we should assume that it's going to come to the downside, okay? So it'd be really immature of me, or sorry, premature of me to close my position here. So let's just look at a higher time frame and assume that the drop is going to come, okay? So let's just keep an eye on this and assume that the drop will come. It is just a matter of time until this ends up getting executed, in my opinion. So we see the pressure hardcore go down. Like the pressure is insane. You can just see it. But will it drop right here, right now? We don't know that, okay? We really don't know that yet. And because we don't know that, there are some risks. The risk is that it's gonna bounce up and get way above my closing price, right? So I might want to take my profit now. And then if I do, I'm just playing it out. If I do take my profit now, I can enter on a better price on the retrace up just to minimize my risk, right? Because if it does end up making another wave to the upside and I'm unaware of it and it does happen, right? That means that I'm going to not only be stopped out, but I'll be in a loss. Whereas if I take my profit now, I could actually minimize my loss if it does go up. But if it doesn't even bounce, that's another issue. If it doesn't even bounce and it just continues to drop to the downside, then I'll have missed my really nice entry and I'll be not happy about that, right? So there's a lot of risks in many things that you do. And the best thing to do right now, honestly, is just to let this guy ride down because it seems really bearish. But of course, the 1 minute's going to be creeping up there soon. But do I really want to even be looking at the 1 minute when I'm when I'm seeing this bearish on a higher time frame, right? That's another issue as well. And the answer is probably not. You don't really want to be looking at it. But this channel could very well end up happening, right? If the third wave scenario was true, where this actually was a third wave, and we end up channeling like this up here, right? I don't think it happens anymore. There we go. So it's breaking down now. So that scenario of mine was completely invalid. Like we're not going to keep changing it. You know what I mean? It was like that. It broke down. And now my profit's coming up right here very soon. I'm up $1,000 already. I might even just take my profit, to be quite honest. I don't want to risk anything. Like I'm already up 4,000. You know what I mean? I don't want to get really greedy. So it's possible for me to just take my profit soon. Yeah. Okay, I think I am going to take my profit here, guys. No risks, like no risk at all. Just make sure I lock in these profits of mine. Right? Yeah, so I've been doing really well today already. I'm up in another trade for a short position because I caught the top. I'm going to definitely close my position here. Boom, guys. Closing it for $1,400. Boom, guys. That was a very nice trade. Super happy with this profit. Back-to-back trades. I just made $5,000 in 30 minutes trading today. Bam, guys.